Albert Einstein's story: learn English through story. English listening practice, they said he would never speak. When little Albert was just a boy. His parents were filled with fear. At age 4, he had barely spoken a word. Some whispered that he might be slow, different, even broken. He would sit for hours, lost in thought, staring at spinning compasses or watching light dance on the walls. Other children played games, shouted joyfully, chased each other in the streets. But Albert remained still. Yet inside that quiet boy's mind, a universe was unfolding. Albert Einstein was born in 1879 in the city of Ulm, Germany. His father, Hermann, ran a small electrical company, and his mother, Pauline, played the piano beautifully. Their home was simple, filled with books and music, but little money. Still, young Albert was nurtured by love and by questions, endless questions. Why does the compass always point north? What is light made of? What would it be like to ride on a beam of light? His mind wandered far beyond the classroom walls. Teachers saw him as a distraction, a child who refused to follow rigid rules, a boy with a defiant spark in his eyes. One teacher even told him, "You will never amount to anything, Einstein." But he didn't fight back. He simply smiled. Because even as a child, he knew something they deemed single quotes. By the time Albert was a teenager, his family had moved to Italy. Though they struggled financially, his parents continued to believe in him. Albert taught himself mathematics and physics late into the night, under candlelight, using borrowed books and scribbled notes. He was rejected by schools, dismissed by professors, and laughed at for his dreams. But he kept studying, because, too, Albert knowledge wasn't about success, it was about wonder. At 26, Albert Einstein worked as a patent clerk in Switzerland, a quiet job, far from the grand halls of academia, but in the silence of that office while reviewing inventions made by others, he began to dream of his own. He thought about time, about speed, about how light moved through space. He imagined clocks on moving trains. He asked what would happen if you chased light at the speed of light. And slowly, something clicked. In 1905, in what's now called his miracle year, Einstein published 4 groundbreaking scientific papers. One of them introduced the world to a simple but powerful equation. E equals mc energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. In that moment, he redefined our understanding of the universe, but even as he rose to fame, Albert never stopped asking questions. He challenged Newton's gravity with his theory of relativity. He explored the mysteries of space, time, and energy. People started calling him a genius, but he always called himself a passionate curiosity. Yet behind that wild, iconic hair and those kind, thoughtful eyes was a man burdened by pain as the world hurtled toward war. Einstein used his voice for peace. He spoke out against hatred, against racism, against the growing threat of Nazi Germany. As a Jewish man, he knew danger was coming. He fled to America, not to run from fear, but to stand for justice. He begged world leaders to act. And though his theories had helped unlock the power of the atom, he spent the rest of his life warning humanity not to destroy itself with that same power. Albert Einstein was more than a scientist. He was a man who believed in humanity, in hope, in harmony. He played the violin, loved to sail, and often said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." He reminded the world that behind every great discovery is a human heart, one that dares to dream, to question, to believe in the end. Einstein wasn't remembered just for equations or theories. He was remembered for this, that the quiet boy, who once couldn't speak, changed how the world sees everything. So the next time you feel different or misunderstood or left behind, remember Albert, the boy who looked at a compass, a task. Because sometimes the ones who don't fit in are the ones who change the world.